So I'm here today to do a community corner with you, Stephen Roscoe, a writer, director, teacher, and wonderful mentor. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here with you today. I'm very excited, and as a counselor, I find it's very important for me to make sure that I have the opportunity to let people in the ward and in Mississauga know the great things that different people are doing in the community. And before I ask a question, I just want to say congratulations to you on being recognized for a number of times for a passion of yours, and that is in directing short films. And I believe you've been nominated for a number of different awards, a Gemini Award,
a Genie Award.
A Genie Award.
And there are a number of other awards that I have won. More recently, down in Houston, Texas, a very long-standing festival called World Fest. That's one of the oldest film festivals in North America. I have received 2 awards at that festival in the past, and I hope that our new film will get a positive reception from them. I'm sending it this weekend to them.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about that short film feature, Monsters Playground. But I also just want to say that I mentioned you are an inspiration, a mentor, and a teacher. You're a teacher here at Glen Forest High School, and I just want to make note that the person doing the videotaping of this interview here today is Jenny Few. She is a student here at Glen Forest. She's also a high school co-op student in my office, and I want to thank you. I've heard great things about you from her. So your inspiration goes very far, as not only as a teacher, but what you're doing outside of your teaching as well.
Wow, you are so complimentary. This is a nice way to finish the week.
So let's hear a little bit about Monsters Playground. What is it about?
Monsters Playground is a short comedy, and it really is about our need to compete, our obsession with getting ahead. And it is a satire of what is, I guess, a new phenomenon, which is the helicopter mom slash trophy mom, who is measuring and qualifying every little event that her child does as being sort of the sign of genius. And
yes.
When 2 of them get together and it becomes competitive, it really sort of, I think, goes into entertainment, but goes a little further because it starts to tap into sometimes the pettiness in our hearts that can misconstrue small matters and let them escalate into conflict. And in a way, it's a comedy that I think is a little bit of a microcosm for world conflict.
Oh wow, yes. Yeah, and I did have the opportunity, I want to thank you, had the opportunity to come out to some of the filming that you were doing in parks in Mississauga, and watching you work with the actors and with the team there. It was very interesting in your approach as to how you wanted to get exactly what you're talking about in terms of sticking to that theme and sticking to the comedy aspect, but also getting down to the more serious aspect of how micromanaging mothers can be, and how that plays out on a larger world scale as well. Can you tell me some of the challenges that you faced with the production or the filming of Monsters Playground?
Certainly, it was. It all worked out, but there were many times when there were a lot of worries, such as losing the location, of which
yes.
you helped us regain. The weather, because we filmed in October and there were a lot of rain days, and the forecast was for rain, and it really, we were lucky it held off until the last day, sort of the last hour, and we pretty much got what we needed. We could have got a little bit more, would have been nice, but we did get what we needed. And so that, combined with the fact that I was directing not just actors, but also child actors as young as age 3. And they're not very cooperative at times, especially when the temperature outside is +4. And being outdoors all day. And that combined with, we had some special effects that had to be included, and also we were filming with a dog. Believe it or not, the dog was the most professional. Just like boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Every shot with the dog went without a hitch. But there always are challenges in filmmaking, and I was blessed that a lot of things came together, and I had really great people to work with, especially my producing partner, Peter Gentili of MDF Productions, who's very experienced, and he really brought a lot to our production.
To the production. And I could really tell the day that I was out there, the fact that there's uncontrollables, but the way that the whole, that segment or that film, that part of the film was managed, you were prepared to deal with 3-year-olds, dogs, the weather, so it was great being out there. So what was we talked a little bit about some of the short films that you received accolades for, but what was your very first filmmaking experience, and was there, when you got involved into that, was there a turning point in your life, or what inspired you to get involved in the first place?
That's a great question, and I must tell you that I started as early as age 12. Wow. And I know kids now start even sooner than that, but it was with Super 8mm film, and a friend had a camera, and we started doing some stop motion animation, and this is really almost like doing a magic trick, so that really caught my interest, and soon I got my own camera, and I was making films. Then I decided to start using my friends as actors, and we made short dramas, and then I started to send them to amateur festivals, and I started to get awards even at that young age. So I then went on to pursue filmmaking as a career, and went to York University and earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Film and Video Production. And from there, then I worked in the industry and so on and so forth. So it's been a lifelong passion. Certain times I haven't been as active, but now I'm sort of getting back into it in my midlife crisis.
So the first film you ever produced, the first film that you ever produced was when you were 12, or 12 or 13. The first film that you ever produced that went on to receive an award or a nomination?
The first film was called The Grand Illusion, and it was a stop motion animation, and I won at this contest called the Crawley Student Film Festival, which was very significant because Budge Crawley is one of the pioneer filmmakers in the history of Canadian cinema. He made the documentary The Man Who Skied Down Everest, which won an Academy Award.
That is
So to win his award and then to meet him, it was a very moving experience. And he really, he was somebody who started out with nothing and built $1 million company, and really survived the odds. And I, gave it my shot, and I've sort of been able to keep dabbling in it. I'm not working all the time as a filmmaker. As you know, I have another job, but I've been able to make, nonetheless, professional films sporadically, every sort of 3 or 4 years.
But that was an inspirational turning point when you received that award, not only for the award itself, but the significance of meeting one person that I guess is a mentor, not a mentor, but someone that you looked up to in the industry.
Yes.
Are there any other people who have inspired you, whether through their filmmaking or otherwise, that are in the industry, or maybe not, maybe outside of the industry?
That's a great question. I would say that in terms of professional filmmakers, I'm a very big fan of someone named Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick.
It was a very famous name, not with young people today, but And he relatively made few films for his lifespan. I think he made 13 films, but every single one of them was groundbreaking in some artistic or technical manner. And certainly there's actually a homage to Kubrick in Monsters Playground, because there's a climax that involves a sort of parody of the moment in 2001 when the 8 kills the other 8 with a bone from a skeleton. Well, these two moms end up fighting over a dog's bone, and that scene is in some way recreated for a comic effect, but also sort of for a bit of commentary on conflict and violence and escalation of.
So he was someone, Stanley Kubrick was someone who was always pushing the limits.
Yes.
When it comes to filmmaking, and you were able to include how he has connected with you or inspired you in this film.
Yes.
Yeah, very interesting.
So it's special in that way for sure.
Wonderful. So what do you, beyond Monsters Playground, what do you have? Do you have anything lined up in the future? Any video? Any film? Short film?
Well, I have a long-term project. It's called Lucky Stiff. It's a feature film. I've been working on the script for many years. The script actually has even won an award.
Wow.
As Best Romantic Comedy at World Fest, this festival in Houston. But when you make a film of that length, you need a lot of money. So it's an ongoing struggle, trying to get interest in it. I haven't given up, so it's always on the back burner. But if I get the inspiration for another short, I'll pursue that as well. Alongside
continuing to work on this project.
Exactly.
Is ongoing.
Exactly. So if I get excited enough, then I'll put all that energy into it. You have to really, because filmmaking is so much energy for so little screen time, especially with the short, you really have to believe in what you're doing, and so not every idea is worth it. So that's probably why, to be honest, I make a film, on a sort of 3 to 4 year interval.
Wow. So you are a teacher.
Yes.
And you're interacting with students every day, all
Yes.
the time. But what do you say, or what would you say to a student who has the same, or you recognize the same passion for filmmaking? What would you say to them in terms of pursuing their dreams in film?
Well, I encourage that, and whether it's in film or in architecture or theater, you're only around for so many years, and you can't just start to play it safe starting as a teenager and plan out your whole life as though it's going to be absolutely perfect and build a little I don't know. I think if you go with the idea of total security, you may have regrets, and certainly I had the support to pursue filmmaking. I've been able to sort of reinvent myself as an educator and tap into other needs and keep myself, financially solvent, and in fact, I've done very well because my creative interest has actually crossed over into the area that I work as an educator. And I do believe that the 21st century skill is the 20th century skill, it's the 19th century skill, and so forth. It's honing a process for creativity and being able to problem solve and adapt. And that's the most transferable skill. So whether you find it in writing or directing or painting or whatnot, or playing an instrument, it all sort of percolates and helps you in other areas. So I also, though, make it clear if you're interested, it has to be a real obsession, like a real passion, because the percentage of people that earn a great, a high-paying salary in this industry is small. So if that's their motivation, they won't get there.
So you need to step out there and take that risk. It has to be something that you're
Yes.
passionate about.
Right.
And stick to it.
Right.
Stick to it.
Sure,
in the
sure.
long term.
You have to be able to weather all the no's and maybes,
Yes.
and occasionally you hear the yeses.
Yes.
I have won awards, and I've been able to have my film screened at festivals with world-class filmmakers, but I've had many rejections, and I know that sometimes those are warranted, but sometimes there were other factors, and I still kept believing in my ideas. But I also had, I must say, I also have a family and a wife that really support my creativity, and that has really helped me keep it going as well.
Well, that's wonderful. And I do want to thank you, because I also know so you're a teacher, you're pursuing your passions outside of teaching, because they've been lifelong dreams for you as a filmmaker. But you're also very involved in the community in a variety of ways. So you found a way, and you've shown to young people in our community that you can find a way to balance all of these different things and really add to the value of the great city of Mississauga that we live in today. So I want to thank you for taking the time to sit here and chat with me about Monsters Playground. Is there somewhere that people can view Monsters Playground into the future?
Yes, thank you for asking, and this has been an absolute pleasure. The film Monsters Playground is actually funded by Bravo TV. So it's a broadcaster that has a mandate to encourage Canadian talent, and the film is financed by them, and so I have a great debt of gratitude to them for giving me this opportunity. And yes, it will be broadcast on TV, and it will be also on their website. So there will be, after the film festival circuit, there will be sort of a broader exhibition of the short. And maybe, you know, somebody will see it and want it to be developed into a series. We hope.
Good. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I wish you all the success in the world. Thank you for all that you do in the community, and I'm looking forward to watching Monsters Playground.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure.